Alright, back again, Luke here, and as you can see, this bad boy is disassembled. In order to get these things apart here, it's a little bit tricky. I've done this a few dozen times, but there's one of two ways. With this case here, this top part's going to be attached to the top part of this unit here, this metal bracket. And the screws are going to be attached from the bottom, so you're not going to be able to get them out very easily. You're not going to be able to get this thing off very easily until you take all the screws out. But the bottom here, once you unsnap these snaps on the front, you should be able to flex this piece. Now, like I said, there's two ways to do this. You can either go in the back and, let me see, the top part of the board. Go on the back here, and what you'll notice is in between here you got some markings, and these markings are for these tabs here. Now you can use a flathead screwdriver and you can push these things in, or if you you've kind of had it with the Xbox and you're kind of frustrated, you can pull on this and it will come off. It'll look like it's gonna snap, but it won't snap. This is some pretty hardcore plastic here, and it'll just pop right back. Just make sure you don't hit yourself in the face or anything. Once you get that all done, the board will be sitting in here, and you'll have to remove the fan, which will be connected down here. I've already done that to try and save some time. You'll have to remove the shroud here, which is right here, and you can bend this piece of metal back just a little bit in order to get this off first, and then take the fan off. And from the bottom, there's going to be a ton of black screws that are going to be located in this section here that go all around the bottom, and they are these small ones here. Now, in order to get these out, you'll probably be able to see you're going to need like a Torx bit in order to get that out. You might be able to do it with a flathead screwdriver, but basically a Torx bit is going to be your best option for that. Once you get all those screws removed, you'll be able to remove the board, and on the bottom of the board there are these straps, these X straps, and these are going to be what's holding the heat sinks onto the processors. And from the bottom here, what I like to use is I use a flathead screwdriver. It's a little bit tricky, you got to be really careful, but you put the flathead screwdriver in the side here, and then you pull back, and one corner will come off, and then you have to do it with each corner, like at least 3 corners before you can get it all off. Once you do get it all off, you'll be able to remove these heat sinks here. Now, if you want to do this the quote-unquote really right way, if you notice here, these have sockets, and you can remove these screws. Now, what a lot of people do is they'll take these screw holes here, and using a drill, they'll drill out the hole to make it bigger, so they can actually put real screws through the bottom here with some washers and some spacers to hold this on nice and tightly. But for me, it's pretty, it's pretty difficult to get up to the hardware store. I got, plenty of stuff here, so I do it the second best way, and that is the yen fix. Because in Japan, yen really, 1 yen, it's almost pointless to have. It's just never used, and I got a whole ton of it. I just got to find it. Let's see here. Here is my jar of yen, and I got all these 1 yen coins in here. These things are basically made out of aluminum, and really light. Here's a chance to see some Japanese money too. So I just collect these things and use them for projects like this. But here is a 1 yen coin, Japanese 1 yen coin. It almost looks like Monopoly money. I mean, it really doesn't look real. It's just super light. And here is a 5 yen coin. As you can see, it says "Goen" on it, like "going, going, going." That's a really bad joke, but it's called "Go-en," 5 yen. And on the back it says "Country of Japan." And then it has the date on it. I think that's the Heisei Ninen. So, was it 1992 or 91 or something like that? But kind of get away from the point here. What I like to do is take a couple of these yen coins, and many people do the penny trick fix, which is the same thing. And when you do this trick, what you do is just take a stack of, I think in the States pennies are much thinner than yen, so you have to use 3 of them. But you take a couple of these things, get yourself some electrical tape, and you tape these things up and you make a few stacks. So let's do that right now. Let's kind of put this on an angle, get some tape here. You don't want to tape it too much because you'll make them too thick. But you take your 2 yen or your 3 pennies and you make some stacks. And the reason why you're going to put these stacks in there is because you're going to cause a void between the bottom of the board and the shielding around it, around the case. And when you put the screws back on, it's going to put tension on the heatsink here in order to get closer contact with the CPU. So it doesn't have to look pretty, but a stack like that, and you want to make what is it, 4 stacks of these. So you know it's going to be 8 yen, or it's going to be what, 12 cents. But on the bottom of this board, once you get these 2 heat sinks off here, on the bottom of the board, what you're going to notice is on a lot of these older models, they have these sponge-like or rubber-like pieces. What also I've seen people do is they've removed these because they're really soft and they're almost like marshmallow. I've seen people take eraser parts and put eraser parts on top of this, which works the same. If you don't have the yen, you can use erasers. I don't know how much heat erasers take in order to start to melt, but what you do with these is you can leave this on here, and you know, you can use a piece of double-sided tape, and you're going to tape 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks on top of these chips. And when you go and you put this back down inside your case, it's going to leave a space about that much. When you tighten the screws down, you don't want to tighten them down all the way. You want to tighten them down just, you know, slowly, and you're not going to put a whole lot of pressure on it because there's already going to be like this much pressure on that screw. And you're going to go around. What I like to do in this case is I like to go around in a zigzag pattern, just kind of like when you change a tire on a car. You go from side to side, and you know, slowly tightening them down, but not fully tightening down one side and then fully tightening down the other, because that's going to have bad pressure on the heatsink itself, and it's not going to sit flat, and then you're going to get the rings again. But you know, slowly tighten them down until they feel snug. And once you get both sides done here, then you can fire it on and see if the lights go off and if it works right. If you have it too tight, what you wind up doing is getting the thing to turn on, but you might have glitches in the screen. Also, you might have the fans running at a really high pace, and then it'll go red, but you just gotta do it carefully. Once again, if you want to do it the way that most people do, you have to go down to the hardware store, you have to have a drill bit to drill these holes out, remove these plugs in here, and put real screws through them, and you can get these things to bolt down correctly. But like I said, I'm doing this kind of the poor man's way, the cheap way, and it still works the same for me. I haven't had any problems. But another thing that you're going to want to do is when you remove those heat sinks, when you take a look at the top here, you're going to notice that a lot of that thermal compound is baked on there, and it's going to be baked on the bottom of these heat sinks as well. And what I like to use is either some glass cleaner, window cleaner, dirt and grime cleaner, anything, goo gone, you know, anything that'll remove this, you know, this thermal compound from here, and get this shiny, get it nice and pretty. For the processors themselves, you know, don't go around here with a screwdriver and try and scrape this stuff off. You're going to cause damage to it. Take some rubbing alcohol or something like window cleaner and try your best to clean up these tops, because that's going to be the main part. Once you get that all cleaned up, then put everything back together. And like I said, when you're screwing the screws in the bottom here, you're going to want to slowly screw them in, and make sure that you do them in an X pattern. and you know, test it out a few times. Leave the top part or the bottom part, this plastic part, off of the case while you're testing it. You know, the top part will always be screwed on, but you can leave the other part off in case you have to readjust something. The screws will be easily accessible. Once you get everything working right, you're ready to go. But this is just a kind of quick tutorial here of what I usually do. Oh, also for these, when you get these these processors cleaned off, if you have an old motherboard sitting around and you have the thermal compound from the inside of that motherboard, this one should have it. These all come with it. Use some of this and apply it on there, you know, because if you don't have any, you'll be in trouble. But I'll put up another video once I get this bad boy up and running, but that's all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching.